Fun fact, I have moved. So about a week ago, I packed up all of my stuff and moved to a new city 2 hours away from my hometown. I have a gallery wall. That's not the point of this video. For the last week, I have been driving myself crazy, unpacking boxes and boxes and boxes of things, mostly books. And any normal person would break down the cardboard boxes and just throw them away. I didn't. I've had an idea and now I must follow through with the idea. And so that's what this is. 1 second. Internet meet pile of cardboard meet internet. And not to worry, if that pile doesn't suffice, I have so many more in my crawl space. So I don't have a plan for this. I just have this is Box, the robot. He's gonna be a cardboard robot and I'm gonna build him. We're gonna see how this goes. I'm not starting completely from square one. Okay, I mean, I technically am, but I have built one other puppet before this. He was not made out of cardboard. He was made out of upholstery foam. So technically, entirely new project, but I've done it once before. And this will be fun. I have so much hot glue and I'm going a little stir crazy. So, robot puppet, let's go. Off to a great start. I don't own a Sharpie. It's gonna go great. Aha, not a Sharpie, but old, shitty whiteboard markers. This has to work. All right, I may not know much, but what I do know is that the first thing I want to do is my mouth plate. So, according to the drawing that I made 5 minutes ago, I want the lower jaw to kind of have a weird, underbite thing going on with the top jaw. So I know the top jaw is going to be a slight bit smaller than the bottom jaw. So, we're just gonna sketch out a little jaw shape here. Should I be using a ruler? Probably. Okay, and this is going to be our top jaw, so I want this a little narrower than my bottom jaw. I want him to come out to about here. So just kind of roughly like a rounded shape. There we go. Now I've just got to do it on the other side. Okay, that is a little crooked, but it's okay. We're not looking for perfection. Okay, and I think I kind of want to round this out a little bit, so we're going to take off that, pointed, there we go. Now we're working with something. Okay, so there is my mouth plate, the top one. And now it's time to cut it out. So, and the award for world's shittiest transition goes to me. So here is the top of our little mouth plate. As you can see, I've left the back part of this on here because I'm going to try to do something. I'm working with cardboard. I'm not used to working with cardboard. I'm used to working with fabric. And so I know that somehow I have to glue my two mouthpieces together. And so I am going to keep this and then score it along the, I haven't decided if I'm scoring it on this side or along the back side. I'm going to score it and peel this layer of cardboard off so that it bends easier. And so then I can flip it over and have it this way. Flip it over and have it actually be able to attach to my bottom jaw is the general idea. So I'm going to try to figure that out and not cut my hand. And if it weren't obvious, use scissors that you don't care about for this. I should also note that I'm doing this instead of finishing the edit for the podcast episode that comes out tomorrow as of me shooting this. So, yeah, there will be a podcast episode. I just may have procrastinated a little bit on getting it up. Sorry, guys. Okay. Oh, that's perfect. So now it bends, and so it will now be a, oh, heck yeah. Heck yeah. I will have to figure out if I actually want this, like, core part in here, or if I want to take it down even further to just the last layer here. But for right now, that is perfect. All right. So now with our top jaw out of the way, I'm going to use that as a blueprint for our bottom jaw. So flying the cardboard back in. Should have it this way. All right, so I know that I want my bottom jaw to be wider than the top jaw, and I know I won't need this back piece. So we're just gonna trace it and hope for the best. And I'm also now acknowledging I probably should have gotten my little wireless mics out for this. I didn't think that far ahead. Okay, that is sufficiently wider, and we've also got some room to grow, or not room to grow, room to shrink if I decide that I want to bring it down just a little bit. And that's about as straight as I can possibly make it. Alright, now to cut out this one. I'm not bothering to do a transition for that one. I now have a bottom jaw, and it fits pretty well around the top jaw, and so whenever I glue it, it will fit right in there. And I'll have to make some finger loops. I'll probably just take some scrap fabric and do that. I'm not making that out of cardboard because that's gonna hurt. And so yeah, we have top and bottom jaws of our robot, and I may round this one out a little bit better because this one came out more roundy, and I kind of like the look of it better. So those are our mouth plates. Now I've got to figure out how to make the rest of this dude. So I think I know how I'm doing the eyes. I think I know how I'm doing the eyes. It will just be a matter of getting it cut out and trying not to cut my hand off. So I might be able to go ahead and get those done. I want them to be two different sizes because all of my little robots have two different size eyes because I think it's cute. And so I didn't illustrate it here, but they're going to be kind of goggle-like. And so I want a smaller lens and a larger lens. And then his little bottom lip thing is going to be an additional piece glued onto the bottom jaw. So let me get a tape measure. Update. I have forgotten to pack a tape measure. I, in my infinite wisdom, did not pack a tape measure, but I do have so much embroidery floss and random string. So we're gonna improvise. So it's about a foot. All right, so that's for the top one. What are you? You are about 14 inches. Perfect. All right. So where do I go from here? Okay. This is where I go from here. So when we're thinking about the basic geometry of a puppet, usually the headpiece is going to be connected and it's going to kind of make a whoop, like a Pac-Man circle, and connect at the mouth place. And the head, typically in like your most basic shape puppet, is going to be all one piece. Now, because it is cardboard and it is inflexible, and because I want the jaws to be kind of whopper-jawed and weird, I cannot do it as one piece, which may work in my favor. Because what I'm thinking is that I can do a top jaw head piece and a bottom jaw head piece connected by the mouth plate in the back. And if I, in my brain, that is not very good at math or geometry, just split what I know a basic puppet head pattern looks like at the mouth and try to draw it from memory, what could go wrong? Okay, so for the top jaw, I know that the mouth plate radius, I guess, is 12 inches. So, here's my mouth plate. I know that I need to cut 2 sides of the head for it to come together and make the head shape. So, what does 6 inches of view look like? And I will remeasure this, so we know that this is 6 inches. So, why did I do this? Alright, no, it's good. It's gonna be good. I'm gonna do this. Moving the packing tape. Okay. And my workspace is already cluttered. Alright. So, and that is just 6 inches, thank God. Alright. I'm gonna mark that, and I wanna go just a little bit over 6 inches. So, my 6 is like here. And the end of my 6 is like here. So I know that this needs to curve out, because that is going to be for the back of my hand, and it may need to curve out a little bit more than that to fit my hand in there. I'm going to deal with that later. Okay, so we know that that is the bottom that will connect to the mouth plate. So from here, we know that, well, let's just use this as an anchor. Oh, this is not going. This is not working how I thought it would. Okay, it's all good. We got this. All right. No, it's not. What did I think I was going to accomplish with this? All right. There we go. That's more or less kind of what I wanted. Not really. Okay. So I know that I want his head to be kind of circly. And in order to achieve that, it is going to have to have a dart in the middle. Right? Right? That's how that works. I know how buttons work. I say with total confidence in my skills. Okay, and then he just kind of slopes back that way, right? Yeah. That looks kind of not at all like what half of the puppet head looks like. It's okay. It's okay. We're going with it. It is all good. All right. That is half of the puppet head. It's time to cut it out. Where'd my scissors go? No, my measuring string. I hope any of this footage is usable. And this cardboard is thicker. Oh no. I need different tools. Why did I do this? Okay. I'll be back. Update, I found my rotary cutter, which seems to be working a hell of a lot better than the scissors were. The only downside is this is my rotary cutter that I use for fabric. But it's okay. Okay, so judging by the cardboard shrapnel, you can see that I have now gotten this thing cut out. This cardboard was a little bit thicker, and it had two layers of that like waffling texture. So basically what I'm doing right now is just peeling off that second layer so that it's a little bit thinner cardboard, so that it bends a little bit better, so that I can actually get these to like, you can't see it right now because it's not curved, but so that I can get it to come together and curve. point, I regret to say, I was realizing that this bullshit was not working. No matter how much I tried to force it, this was not coming together the way that I wanted it to. So after trying to glue this together for probably about 2 hours, I decided to go back to square one. Luckily, I have infinite cardboard, so new plan. So now the way that I think I'm going to do this, I have started the process of pulling the back off of another rectangle of cardboard. Instead of trying to make a traditional puppet head where you're trying to mold flat shapes into a head shape, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do what I am calling the tin can approach. Bear with me. Basically, I know that I want my top half to be a bit taller than my bottom half, and then that bottom half to have that protruding underbite thing at the bottom. And so, new plan. I haven't finished scraping off the back or slatting the back. I will probably go over this with my rotary cutter like I did in the other version that didn't work so well. But mouth plate, and then I will essentially wrap it around, and that is what I will use to make my head. And then the back will just kind of be open, or I may just put a panel back there. We'll see how I'm feeling once I get this attached, assuming I can get this attached. And then for the bottom, I intend to do something similar but shorter, and then different, because I have an idea, but as we know, the ideas don't always work out. So I'm going to start putting this together, and it'll hopefully make sense here in a minute. And actually, I got a little bit ahead of myself. I realized before I start getting into putting these together, A, I need to clean up my workstation, and B, I went and grabbed just a small, like, tiny piece of a scrap cutting to go ahead and make my finger loops for my top and bottom mouth plates. So I'm going to cut those, and then they will get hot glued to the outside of my mouth plates. Now, if one were to do this far more professionally than I, you would probably do this with elastic and with not just scrap, I think it's a curtain, but that's the fabric scraps that I had on hand. And so we're going to glue this down to the mouth plate, and that's about where I would like it to be. So, and in running with the rest of this video with no plan and kind of slapdash together, my glue gun cord is slightly too short. So we're just going to come over here and bring the cardboard to the glue gun. That's all right. And then, just because I do want to be a little bit more professional, I'm just going to tuck that fabric bit under there so that we have a little bit more of a clean edge. And God, I hope this is in frame. And then we'll do kind of one in the middle. Oh, that cord is so short. Do one in the middle here. So that gives us a little bit of a finger divider here. And then we'll do one on the end. And again, I'm just going to tuck that little edge. Maybe. Come on. It's on my fingernail. Somehow hot glue burns worse when you get it on the fingernail than when you actually get it on your fingers. I don't know if that's just a me thing. But yeah, now you've got, oh, it's a tight squeeze. But you've got two little finger holes. Let's see if I can get this. That's a little bit of a better fit. All right, so yeah, we've got our little hand holds for our top mouth plate. Now I'm just going to do the same thing to the bottom one. So now the goal is I have my mouth plate here, and then I want to form this around here. Now I'm trying to decide if, because I want the top closed, is the biggest problem at the moment. So that wraps around pretty okay as it is right now. But in order to get the top closed, I'm thinking of doing something. The darts didn't go well in the first iteration, but if I mark out like these little triangles and then they kind of come together to form a circle at the top, I'm wondering if that might work, or I don't know. I haven't thought that far ahead, so we'll figure it out. As you can see here, what I'm calling the tin can method worked much better than my original iteration for this puppet head. So I'm going to continue doing this and try to replicate it for the bottom jaw, and hopefully it will come together a little bit quicker than me trying to treat cardboard like foam. There's probably a way to do it, I just was not doing it correctly. But yeah, this is our top jaw, and then once I get my bottom jaw constructed, we will get him glued together. So yeah. Now where did I put the bottom jaw is the question. I think this is it. Yes. I really need to clean up my workstation. Okay, so is this what I was going to use, or was I going to use something else? I think this is what I was planning on using. No, it's not. It's too wide. Hold on. This is what I was going to use. So we're just going to go through the same process that I went through to put that together. There we go. And now to peel. I decided I wanted this to be my good side. Oh, that was much cleaner than anticipated. Hell yeah. Alright, so then this goes, not like, wait, how does this go? The geometry is not working in my brain. So this has to go like this. Gotcha, okay. And is this going to wrap all the way around? Is the other question. Yes, it does. And then I think I kind of want this just a little bit shorter. So we're going to trim it. I don't know why I'm bothering to line it up because it never comes out completely straight, but that's okay. Oh, that's not great. It's okay. We'll try to even it up as best we can. There we go, close enough. And so we set that aside, and then I'm thinking that I'm going to use this. I need to trim it because it's like, well, maybe I won't use that because it's not the right size. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. We need to get this attached. So I will go about the same method that I did the other one. And I'm going to trim this before I start gluing just so that I know exactly how much I need, so I can cut here. Oh, helps if I actually open the rotary cutter. Okay, so you can come over here and we start gluing. Okay, if I can get my grip. All right. And of course I'm trying to do this the dumbest possible way. I don't have this turned the right way for me to actually look at it while I'm gluing. But that's okay. And I never said my gluing was pretty. It's semi-functional, but certainly not pretty.
A few moments later.
Okay, that's stuck. And then even with the measurement, I am still just a tiny bit over. That's okay. So cut that, and then this is not the right size. So, like I did on here, I'm going to do a back piece and then a top piece to kind of seal everything up. I have so much cardboard. And that is just perfect. Okay. And are you the right thickness? Yes, you are. That needs to be on cardboard, not there. Did I mean to use this piece? Well, it's too late now. I think I may have been saving this piece to do my little lip thing, but it's okay. And then I'm being slightly less precise on this one because I mean to go in and trim it up using scissors. Because it's a little bit jagged right now. Go. So then that will just fit right on top of that. Let me get it glued into place first and close the rotary cutter because that doesn't need to just be hanging open. The amount of hot glue that I'm going to have to peel off my hands after this project is staggering. I also realized that I just swept my apartment earlier and I'm going to have to do it again because there's so much like hot glue strings and cardboard debris everywhere now. That's what I get for trying to clean. This is also going to be a fun thing to put out because I have maintenance coming to work on my air conditioner tomorrow, and so the goal is to have him done before they come, because I would rather explain Cardboard Robot than why I just have so much torn up cardboard spread all over the apartment. I just moved here. I don't want to be designated as the crazy person in the basement just yet. Hot glue stringies. Okay, and so that is our bottom part. So, hold on, let me. Okay, that's not working the way I want it to, but it's okay. Oh my god, he's a little. It's coming together. Let's go. Alright, so now for his little lip thing. I was right, I was going to use this piece. It's a little bit wavy. We can kind of clean it up just a bit. Just because I do want this to be as straight as humanly possible, just because he's supposed to be a robot. So I guess I'm going to use this other edge if I can get the tape off. Come on. So I'm going to use this side as my inside edge, or up edge, I guess. So how can I do this? Let me try this first. I keep saying I don't have a ruler, but I do have a cutting mat that should also function as a ruler. Kind of. That's not where I want that. That's where I want that. There we go. That was not as clean as it could have been. That's okay. So now I just gotta find the edge here. There we go. Alright, so then that will come here. It's not as thick as I would like it to be. I kind of want it to stick out a little bit more, but I'm trying to figure out how exactly I can accomplish that. Let me think. Well, let's try something like, so if I do something like, if I glue this along here and then put this on top of it, that's more the shape I wanted. There we go. Now we're cooking with gas. Can I get one more under there? I think I could. Let me, I'm doing something. I have a thought. Let's see if we can get a couple more of these and kind of stack them up. I believe that we can. Just for the sake of expediency. Nope. Oh, that wasn't a clean one. Dang it. Gotta get it from the other side. There we go. Rude. There we go. How hard was that? Okay, I'm gonna need more hot glue. I really wish my cord was longer. But alas, it is not. So, cut these at the end every time, if that's okay. Alright, that is one. Making sure I was doing this on the right side. Alright. And actually, we'll save that one for last, because that kind of got like weird and skinny towards the end. Yes, I just put my finger directly into fresh hot glue. Okay, I don't know if I need the third one. I may be good with just the two. Let's see first. Do a little snip. Okay. Oh. So is that where I want it? Let's see. Maybe. Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly how I wanted it. Okay. This is going great. And despite the minor setbacks, this could not be going better at the moment. Okay. Yeah. Oh, he's gonna look so cute. How much hot glue have I gone through so far? Quite a bit is the answer to that question. Go. And so now we've just got to get this attached here. Oh my god. Alright. Time to continue gluing. I'm just gluing with reckless abandon at this point. Oh my god. Okay, I gotta wait for him to set for a second, but oh my god, he's actually like, it worked. He's a little off center, but that's okay. Okay. After much trial and error, I now have. It worked better than I thought it was going to. It actually opens and closes. I'm kind of regretting not using elastic for the inside of the mouth, but it's okay. I can fix it later. I can put elastic in later, but for right now, oh my gosh, that is in fact a puppet head. Now I just got to give him like facial features and everything. Obviously, I still need to make him like a body and everything, but the next step is going to be me making him his eyes. We've gone so far from the initial sketch, but it's okay. The eyes, I've got to figure out how to do the eyes, and once I do that, I will be back to show you. Surprise, it's the next day. Let's see where we're at. As you can see, I have made some progress. He now has eyeballs and a little antenna thing. But yeah, his little eyes and eyebrows. The next step is the body. And I have thoughts, which we know from past experience on this project alone is not always a good thing. The current plan, as it stands right now, I have these pieces cut out for like a little chest thing. I used the fold of where it was a cardboard box, and I'm hoping that'll give some like dimension. And the current working idea is that I have these little strips of cardboard that I'm gonna glue, I don't have enough hands, in between the sides here to give it some dimension, and then it will sit like this, kind of. This is not a good demonstration. It'll sit like this, and then I'm gonna cut out a piece that'll go up top to fill in those gaps. And then for the neck, we're gonna see if this works. Hear me out. So I have these like cardboard ring things that I made, and I have my random measuring string. The goal is to kind of string these together in a way that gives me some motion, but is also stable. So I think I'm gonna do this at 4 separate contact points, and so they'll be connected at 4 different points around the little circles, and then they'll just kind of hang. And so I'll have a little bit of motion with the neck, but a controlled amount of motion with the neck, if that makes any sense. We're gonna find out. So my first course of action, I believe, is going to be gluing this to this, and this to this, and this to this. I learned from last time, by last time I mean yesterday, and I moved my table. My floors are uneven, so now it rocks, but the glue gun is in fact closer. So I'm taking that as a win. And then I was actually debating, just because I thought it might look kind of cool, to give him different textures on his different panels. Let's look at that before I do this, because I kind of wanted to have, this looks pretty good, but this, neither side of this looks very clean. And so I thought it might be kind of cool to do some like texture-y stuff on his back panel, but I'm kind of afraid to do so because I don't want to mess this up and I don't want it to look weird. So I think we're just going to leave it on this side, and it's the back. It's fine. Nobody's looking at the back of the puppet. So the first step is to get these glued down together. Now we wait for it to dry. That's set enough. And for the other side, oh wow, this was the smarter way to do this. Why didn't I do it this way the first time? I should have just had it sitting down instead of holding it up. What is wrong with me? Okay, you're dry enough. Now for the back. Oh no, the cardboard's kind of warped. See, I'll fix that, it's fine. I can make it better. Alright, and then last side. And I'm gonna put the top piece in to make it hold shape, but I'm kind of thinking, do I want to put some kind of internal support in there? Because this is not a hand up the back puppet, this is hand in the mouth puppet. So if I need to put some additional structure inside the chest part, I can. I also don't know if I want to build this any longer, because I kind of had the idea of doing like a second panel type thing to kind of, I don't want him to get too big though, is my only concern. Okay, so we've got that. And now to get it to go, oh, I really need to fix that side because it's coming apart already. This is what I get for using heavily used cardboard boxes. It's okay, it gives them some character, some charm. Are you gonna stick now? The answer is maybe. Shit's so hard to cut. We're back to the 3-ply. Because I have a plan. Alright, so how thick do I want this? Just about that thick. Perfect. Okay. Nope. I'm so gonna need a new blade for this rotary cutter. Alright. And this does not have to be pretty because it's going inside the puppet. Though I think that this might be the most even piece of cardboard that I've cut during this entire thing. And it's going inside the puppet. So I want 2 little supports. And I may end up doing more. Alright, so I want these like that. There There we go. Okay, so I want one towards the top and then one towards the bottom, and that should be enough structure for me to work with. Yes, this is working. I'm so happy this is working. Creating things like this is fun because I am, by all measures, not very good at math. And so I am basically just pulling all of this out of my ass because I'm very bad at math. Which is kind of funny because I used to be a math tutor for a couple of months. It was 5th and 6th grade math, and I think that's the point where I stopped learning math. Right, are you stable enough? Oh, you're stable enough, thank God. Alright, let's get the other one in. Even a little bit. There we go. Gosh, it just makes things so much easier when you're not fighting your glue gun cord. I don't know why I didn't think to move the table yesterday. Okay, there's support number 2. I may have to shore up support number 1 again because I think it came loose while I was doing support number 2. Alright, that looks like a robot body. Or something closely approximating a robot body. Heck yeah. Okay, so my next step is support keeps coming up. God, stay. It's fine, it's close enough. The next step is I need to hold this until it dries. Okay, this fucking... Why can I not get you to stay down? Alright, moving on. Okay. So the goal, I think I'm going to have to do this in 3 pieces. So we'll scoot that all the way to the edge. This will be my other line. And then actually, I say all the way to the edge, I mean all the way to the edge. There we go. Okay. So there's my line, and then so you end there, and then you end there. Right. Right. It's close enough. Okay. So then I need a rectangle of a certain size. Is this? This is not a straight line. Okay. Once again, using the cutting mat for not the intended purpose. And almost knocking over the tripod in the process. Fantastic. I think that's what I did. And then because these are structural pieces, I am not peeling them. It's not just because my hands hurt, okay? There's a reason. And it just fits. I think I want to do it on this side, even though it's a little crusty, just because this seems a little bit less bent. Do we put it this way or this way? This way. Alright. Side 1. Done. Let's go. Moving this out of the way. for my next trick. Alright, you go like this. Maybe. Or like that's better. Okay. You go like this. Once again, I say, close enough. And then I'll just double it on that side. Has anybody else ever watched the movie Dave Made a Maze? It's like completely random. It's a horror comedy. It's about this guy that builds a cardboard fort in his living room, and he gets lost in it, and then his friends go in to save him and find that it's like a horrible labyrinth thing that he's built, and there's all kinds of like cardboard monsters and puppets and stuff, and it's like an allegory for depression and everything. I want to watch that movie again. I'm thinking about it while I'm cutting out all this fucking cardboard. And I'm like, oh yeah, that was a really good movie. I now sympathize with the creative team of that movie. Dude, yes. It fits. And yes, I did want it to go slightly under, just so that it looks a little bit more, not finished or polished. I just wanted it to go under because I think it would look cooler. And it's my project, so whatever I say goes. I still have like so much cardboard left after doing this. I've got to figure out what I'm doing with it, because initially the plan was to just save it, because you always need boxes. Now I think I need to make more things out of cardboard. Putting this together, I believe, is something akin to building a gingerbread house, but the gingerbread house hates you and doesn't want to be built, which in my experience is just putting together a gingerbread house. So we're calling this the body. It's pretty close. I have a couple spots here and there that aren't wanting to stick, but that's basically the story of my life at this point. So I will just go through and probably glue those down again after the fact. And so now I think I can move this aside and we can work on the neck piece. So I don't know how long I want his neck to be, because I know that like this will attach to the bottom of the head, this one will kind of be free floating in the middle, and then this will attach to the body, is the idea. And now I'm thinking, do I need 4 of them instead of 3? But I also don't want his neck to be too weirdly long. So all 3 of these together, how long is that? If I can... This was a really dumb way to do this. Why did I do it this way? Oh my god. Okay, so all 3 of them strung together. Just normal. This is a really stupid way to do this. All 3 of them strung normally together like this is about this long. And I know that I want some wiggle room in between each one. So if I go, maybe if I double it. So if I double it, and then I either want, I don't know if I want 3 contact points or 4. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this because I have so much of the string like in the closet that if I mess this up, it's fine. I have a couple of tries at this. Let's see if I can get 4 out of this. think we should just be able to. My scissors aren't working because I use them to cut cardboard. Yes, 4. So, I think the best and smartest way to do this, because one of those words ever come out of my mouth, is to just go ahead and, I know I want one on the back seam, the front seam, and the sides. So I'm just going to start gluing and hope for the best, as I usually do. And yes, I did just stick my thumb directly into freshly piped hot glue. Do as I say, not as I do. Do not put your fingers directly into freshly piped hot glue. That shit hurts. Oh, I almost glued that the wrong way. Okay, now I have this little like cardboard jellyfish thing. And repeat. Should I be measuring this? Probably. Am I going to? No. Okay. That's 2. Now for the last one. How is this gonna... Okay, I think this is gonna look cooler than I think it is. I think this is gonna work. I think we're getting there. And it looks like I'm gonna have some extra string on the end. That's fine. I would rather have it be too long and have to trim it down than have it be too short and panic. Okay, we got a little hairy there for a second, but we made it work. It's all good. Last one. All right. I did it. That is more or less a robot neck. So now time to glue one to the other. I want him to be like there. Okay, wait. I'm thinking this through before I do it. Because if he opens here, that is going to be connected to the... I don't know if I like that, but you know what? I'm too in deep now. Just making sure that my seam is facing the back. Alright, well, there's no turning back now. He's glued down. next step is going to be getting him attached to the body. I'm double checking this is in fact the side that I wanted to use as the front. I don't know how I'm going to store him. Things I should have thought about earlier, I guess. Alright. Yeah, it still kind of works. He's got kind of a wibbly wobbly head thing going on. Can I stack these? Okay, so his head just kind of goes off to the side. We're going to lay you down for a second, buddy. Alright. And now I suppose onto the arms. I know that I said onto the arms, but I think I need to kind of show him off for a minute first, because he looks pretty cool, and he is very large. I now stand by not adding another panel to the chest, because I don't know how I would hold him. He's quite big, but he's very cool. His neck does swivel, he can look around. He still opens it, and he's got the little, like, wibbly wobbly. I am so happy with how this is coming out so far. Time to make arms now. Now I'm working on the hands. I went ahead and just cut out these little, like, hand-shaped dudes. It's the best thing I can call them. I made 2 for each side, peeled one side on each, and then I glued a little support in there so they pop out like this, and then the thumb is just a strip of cardboard that has been rolled over on itself, and then I'm gonna make another part of the thumb. Just haven't gotten there yet because I have all the little bits and scraps of everything. Okay, thumbs. This is not what I want. I need to pay better attention to the direction of the cardboard because that keeps happening. Let's go here. That's better. Okay. I unplugged my glue gun. Yeah, that'll work. Now to do it again. Ow. I've made thumbs. He now has thumbs. So from there, I've got to figure out, I know I want to do 4 little fingers on each hand. So let me go ahead and cut out just another strip of this same cardboard. Almost. Almost such a clean pull. Okay, so I want about that size, right? Okay, so I put your hands up this one, and then because I want to do 4 fingers, including the thumb. Okay, and then for the actual, I'm gonna shut up and go ahead and construct my little fingers, and then I shall go from there. And I really hope these all fit here. They may not. Hold on. Well, it might be tight, but I think it should be okay. I may cut down the pinky. Hold on. Not an easy way that I can get this much tighter unless I'm thinking there we go. Crisis averted. Okay. There's the beginning of the hand. Now to replicate it on the other one. Using my own hand for reference to see where the articulation points are. Okay, that's just too small, but that may be used for the pinky. And then, how big are you? about the right size for this. Okay. Close enough, since that's not going to be on the outside. That's close enough. None of these. Oh, these might be slightly too big. Oh no. Undo. Undo. I don't know how much smaller I can make these. We shall find out. Let's see. Okay, so that will fit in. And it's already decided to be stuck, so... There we go, one down. So I did what? I took off 2 little things. So now we just make the rest of them match. I feel like I'm cutting sun chips. Honestly, this is becoming a little bit meditative, if meditative means slowly losing your mind and most of the sensation in your fingertips. Is that it? Am I done? So I get 2 for each hand, and then, yeah, I guess that's it. And then what can I do for this pinky? Maybe what I can do. It's a little hand. Two little hands. Now just to make the arms to go with them. It's been a couple of hours for me. I have now fashioned 2 arms for the robot. I didn't film it because it happened in much the same process as the neck did. It was just me stringing together pieces of, I didn't make the loops this time, cardboard paper towel roll. I had a couple of those lying around. And then, like I said, I have a bunch of this twine shit in the closet, and so we have arms and they are glued to hands, and so now I'm so excited to say this. The last thing that we have to do with the robot is attach the arms. Come here, my friend. Get up here. I'm so afraid I'm gonna break him every time I touch him. Alright, time to give you your arms. Easier said than done. Okay, so that is that arm. This is this arm. And I'm not bothering to mark anything. I'm just going to start gluing because that is how this project goes. So I'm going to just make sure that I have this mostly, yes, this is the right arm, or the correct arm. No, wait, this is the right arm. And hold it on there for just a moment. Get that nice and stuck down, and then he has one arm. Now for the other one. Holding it on. He is complete. Well, it's official. I can now say that I built an entire puppet out of cardboard and random crap from my closet in 2 days. All told, this probably took me around 8 hours, and that was with all of the cutting of cardboard and peeling of cardboard and all the hot gluing, and then the false start, and then the actually getting his lovely head to work. But yeah, he is a puppet. He's got 2 arms. I said he's done. I will probably find something. This is the one thing that I don't have at the moment. I will find something to make arm rods out of, because at the moment his arms just kind of are a little free flappy, but he does have 2 arms and 2 hands, and once I get arm rods in there, it'll be a pretty freaking cool puppet. I'm really proud of this. So what have I learned? What would I choose to do differently next time I try to do this? And we know me, there will be a next time. I definitely think this was interesting going into this without a pattern. The last time I made a puppet, I did have a pattern that I downloaded off the internet, and this time it was completely free-handed. And honestly, I'm not mad at it. I thought it was going to cause far more frustration than it did, because I'm very used to working with a pattern and kind of deviating from the pattern sometimes, but having those building blocks to come back to. It was kind of cool to just be able to cut into the cardboard and do whatever I thought would look cool without worrying about, like, oh no, I'm running out of material, oh no, my patterns don't match, oh no, my seams are all jacked up. It was very cool and kind of freeing to just be able to just freehand a puppet for fun. Now, that being said, a little more preparation on my part would not go amiss, because I was not prepared for how much time I was going to spend peeling the cardboard and cutting the cardboard. I do not have the requisite tools to do this again, and I need to go buy another blade for my rotary cutter, because that one is toast. I cannot use that on fabric anymore. So definitely very cool for a first random crap out of the closet puppet type thing, but maybe if I know I'm going to do this next time, I prepare in advance. If you've gotten this far in the video, I think you definitely need to like, subscribe, ring the bell, all the YouTuber things, because you stuck around this long. I got a lot more where this came from. I've done a couple other builds. I've got a couple more builds down the pipeline coming up. I already have the pieces cut out for one, and it's kind of a building block for my next big project. So definitely tune in to see how that goes. The guys are still playing Danganronpa on a periodic basis, and we have the podcast that comes out monthly, as well as I have been doing a big long playthrough of Scarlet Hollow with several little offshoot playthroughs of Scarlet Hollow, and I'm getting back into Slay the Princess, which is pretty cool. It's been over a year, but we're back in the frickin' castle. So if you're into any of that, any other gaming stuff, any other nerd stuff, we've got it all here, so hang out for a while. And again, if you stayed this long, thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next time.